Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Speaker, since 2018, I have raised the issue of dangerous cladding on at least 7 different occasions in the House. Like the hundreds across my Slough constituency, I am frustrated with the lack of progress that has been made on ensuring we never have a repeat of the horrors of Grenfell and that our building safety regulations are overhauled. So I welcome the second reading of this building safety bill back to the House and its inclusion of steps which regulate and strengthen the quality and safety of building homes. Sadly, it's what this bill omits that concerns me most, namely the lack of concrete protections for leaseholders to ensure that they will not be responsible for fire safety costs. So I stand here today to repeat desperate pleas from residents in Slough and further beyond to a government which doesn't appear to be listening. From the occupants of West Central, Rivington Apartments, Lexington Apartments, Nova House, Kingswood House, Foundry Court, Ibex House, and I implore upon the government to pay attention because, Mr. Deputy Speaker, protecting leaseholders is not only the right thing to do, but it's what has been repeatedly promised to them. 17 times ministers of government have reassured leaseholders that they should be shielded from fire safety costs, with the Prime Minister just last year noting that, and I quote, "No leaseholder should have to pay for the unaffordable costs of fixing safety defects that they did not cause and are no fault of their own." So my question to the Minister is, where will these legal protections actually come from? As it currently stands, leaseholders could still be liable for costs after the building owner has, and I quote, "explored alternative cost recovery routes." Characteristically, the government's response is delayed, limited and inept. We need a national cladding task force to truly establish the extent of dangerous cladding, supported by a building works agency to certify work as safe so that flats can become sellable and action is taken against those who caused the crisis in the first place. Leaseholders and local councils such as Slough Borough Council should not be responsible for remediation costs. Leaseholders did not build their homes, nor clad it in dangerous materials, and they certainly did not approve them as safe. Their only crime is saving tirelessly and fulfilling their dream of home ownership. And how have they been rewarded, Mr. Deputy Speaker? By going to bed at night in fear for their lives. An ever-growing bill to simply make their homes fire safe and the looming risk of bankruptcy and the loss of their jobs as a result. So I call upon the government to act with urgency for the hundreds of thousands still suffering. We need to definitively end this nightmare for those in Slough and further beyond within our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker.